Now you know that guy ain't shit. Sorry ass motherfucker got nothing on me, right? Nothing.
This is Law Dog.
And this is Davey O Diddler. I used to be Leon. I'm changing the name up. If you want to know why, ask me. Whatever.
We'll get into that later on through the season. But, yeah. You know, we live in what is called the United States. But, you know, really, the United States is really very divided, if you ask me.
It's far from united. Especially after this election. Now, we've talked a lot about Trump, so I don't want to harp on it right now. I'm not in the Trump mood. Now, I hear you're in the mood. What's going on?
Well, you know, I always be into... My mind wanders a lot, and I'm always thinking about certain things, and then I analyze things. I have certain theories and shit like that. I'm not trying to say I'm a conspiracy theorist or anything.
This is what happens when you talk to Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm.
Who is that bitch?
Yeah, but you know, I think the elite designed a system of privilege and a caste system to divide all of us Americans so that we fight each other and not them. Or at least not rebel and get tired where we blaming them people. We always blaming each other. You know, like the Mexicans took my job or the blacks got a promotion. You know, crazy shit like that.
And just to point it out, I'm pretty sure I pointed it out in other videos. If a Mexican took your dream job, then your dreams are like kind of down here somewhere.
Yeah, really low.
You're talking about an undocumented, illegal American, a person who literally has to get the job off the idea that no one else will do it. So if they took your job, man, my condolences.
And on the other hand, also, if he took your job, why are you mad at the Mexican? Why you should be mad at that person that gave him the job?
You really should, because the person that gave the Mexican the job... Matter of fact, let's put that in perspective. I'm not going to try to take too much time up here. So, an illegal immigrant took your job. What that means is an American hired an illegal immigrant... Oh, God, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck!
Yeah, an American hired illegal immigrant over an American. Shame on him. That's unpatriotic.
A person with job creator potential said, you know what, I'm going to take, this is going to sound so fucked up racist. I said, I'm going to take undocumented Juan over legal John. And that's a choice that someone made. So we can sit here, picture it like this. You can have access to every woman on the planet. Prostitutes can make themselves a little bit more available to you. Now with that being said, prostitutes aren't taking housewives away from the men.
No.
Men are choosing the hoes over the housewife.
Can't make hoes in the housewives, man. Trust me.
I want to put that lyric in there. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. You better act right. No. God, oh.
Hey, you fucking up today, Leon. Man, you gotta get your mind right. But anyways, you know, back way before slavery, not way before, but a little bit before, there was no such thing as color. You know,
black and white films.
Yeah, but you know there was Moors. Moors were people who wasn't white, but there was never a quote unquote color of what it was to be black or what it meant to be such and such and such and such and such. That was designed by the elite back then, which were the slave masters or whatnot. So you had blacks, you had whites, you had all type of people who were slaves. And so what happened is that the whites and the blacks that were down, they realized that they were slaves. And they was all in one system, kind of like what we are now. We're all in one system, but what the elite does is say, hold on now, the blacks and the whites are fighting together, and they actually are winning because there's more of them than it is of us. So they devised a way to give privilege, like we stated in that last video. They decide to give privilege to certain people in order to divide them up. You know, so they divided them by color, they divided them by creeds, you know. But for the most part, they divided them by race. There's no such thing as black and white before slavery. A little bit before slavery, there was no such thing. Even indentured slavery, servitude, and even as far as, you know, in Africa, they were war slaves. They were slaves because they were war prisoners. And then all that color stuff came in later when they knew that they can use color to divide. But saying that is that in the United States, the elite also use, well, in the futuristic United States, because back then they still use color, they still divided. But now they still use that certain caste system to divide us as far as like light, dark, black, white.
Well, now,
Democrat, Republican, blue, red. You ever see this? You ever see what the blue, red?
there you go.
Pepsi, Coke, Crip, Blood.
Something like that. Cat's going crazy.
It's deep.
Right there.
It's deep.
Now, to put it a little bit more in perspective, I heard a study was going on, and the way it's going to be continued in the future is you've heard terms like hate speech, things like that. To give you a past on it, back in the day, the person who was learned, the person who was the better, would use words like veal, poultry.
Shoot, I'm about to give me some pussy.
Nah, come here, you.
Oh, don't take my pussy from me.
Alright, well,
Don't take.
no.
You just stole it from me.
Just relax. Just calm.
He done took my pussy
Just
from me.
ruin the whole show.
No, he took my pussy.
I didn't even know where I was. Anyway, the learned people would use proper terminology, whereas the people who weren't learned, the lessers, would use things like beef, chicken. And it might sound like something that's not a big deal, but roll the credits back to 1995 when Ebonics was pushed. Why is something like that? Why is that even a thing, first of all? Because when we had surfers out there going, dude, gnarly, shit like that, we didn't have, what would you call that? Coconics? Cock. What do you... Cock.
Cockisis.
I don't know. Cock something. We didn't have that. But when black people were becoming, they were coming out of that stage of minority, they were coming to the forefront, they were being accepted into pop culture, we invented something called Ebonics. And you hear that word now, and people view it as something that's acceptable. But at the same rate, it isn't. If we're going to unite this country, we can't create lines that don't exist. That's the caste system. Essentially, you take something where there is nothing, and you say, okay,
You're going to make it something.
where something exists on this side, it will be this. Where something exists on this side, it will be that. In other words, we create Ebonics. If you speak Ebonics, this is you. If you do not, this is you. It's lines of division.
Yeah. But you know we all speak Ebonics every now. I mean, even the most educated person, you know, will not always speak proper. But, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, division has always been the way the elite always divided us and put us in the caste systems, and like the totem pole, you know, was usually us black men. We usually the lowest on the totem pole for some reason. I don't understand why, but we usually have the least privilege in the United States or in the world.
It's something about being dark. I don't know if it's something that it generates fear or whatnot. I mean, I guess, okay, like, is it just me, or am I the only guy that has a penis that's darker than his actual skin tone? And I'm scared of that thing. Like, it's not even what it'll do to me, it's what I've seen it do to others.
Me, I have the same problem.
It's just torn them in half. I don't know. And so, I think that's the most nasty thing I've ever seen on video.
We edited that out.
I ain't editing shit out no more. Davey O Diddler has spoken. All right,
yeah.
Luck of the Irish,
Yeah.
25% Irish.
Wow.
I'm the original leprechaun.
Yeah.
I'm the Highlander son.
And I'm a black-a-con.
He's the black-a-con.
Black-a-con.
Oh, no, black-a-con.
Black-a-con. Shut your mouth.
You ought to be a cameo with the red cup.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Patent leather everything now. That's how I can tell. You know what? I don't think. Let me take this on a little bit lighter area. I don't think black people and white people are so different. I don't
think none of us is different. It's just that the elite see they're so slick and they're so clever that they will make you believe that you're different.
Well, as long as you can create separation,
Yeah.
you can do things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, anyone that has, this applies mostly to blue collar jobs, but even in the white collar arena. So, you go to these meetings and whatnot. They want you to be a team. Simultaneously, there's always that. Okay, this is your manager's responsibilities, and this is you.
Management and non-management.
Well, I can give you that. We might all have different roles, but if we're all working for the same company, shouldn't we all have a more inclusive idea of the way things are? Should we all be pushing the same thing? No, it's one of those things. It's like, all right, that same line of division I drew earlier. All right, so if you're not doing this, you are doing that.
Yeah.
And that's how they divide you. If you come home from work and hate your job because of the way things are at your job, you should be able to appreciate why a caste system is bad.
Yeah.
It's simple like that. Any area where people are seeked to be divided, that's the problem with the caste system. But like I was saying a second ago, I feel like black people and white, we got a lot of, on a basic level, things are, you know, I've noticed, I've been watching the lens, I've been drawing a lot of geometry here. Anyway, on a basic level, we all have a lot of similarities. Black people, we got a lot of fantastical ideas that we want to see come to fruition, and not the ones that the media produce. Like, I don't want to drink Cristal champagne out of 3 strippers' ass while they twerk at high speed. You know what I'm saying? There's little things that I want, like me personally. All right, I was black for 34 years of my life. It's just been the past 2 months that I've been mulatto. That's a weird thing to say. Yeah, whatever.
They take offense to it.
Fuck them. Take offense to it.
It's an offensive word.
This is, matter of fact, let me pause this for a second.
They used to call me tar baby, and that was offensive.
If anything I say triggers you, then be triggered. Because I have taken on the gender of the labeler.
And what is your name again?
I'm the label. Oh, Davey O Diddler. I'm the labeler. All right.
Diddler.
You don't like being labeled? Tough shit. I am the guy that labels, and you have to accept that, because as a person that accepts genders, my gender labels genders. All right. So if you don't like it, you have to learn to like it, because you don't like it when you aren't liked. I need to be liked as well.
But you know, they always put labels on you.
Well, I'm labeling now.
Yeah. Well, that's good, but because I remember when I got in a little bit of trouble back in 05, 06, and they had to put me in a program. But you know, all of these programs they put in is really about money. They don't give a fuck if they rehabilitate you or not. But I had to go to rehab. I had to go to rehab for DUI. If y'all people don't know what that is, that's driving under the influence. And see, when I went before one of the teachers of there, he would ask you, he said, are you an alcoholic? I said, man, why you gonna put a label on me? I'm a father. You
I'm Johnny Walker.
Johnny
right.
Walker.
I'm black label. You don't label me. I label you.
Damn right. I am. Ron Bacardi.
I'm the most interesting man on the planet.
Yeah, but it's just these labels. They so quick to label you this, or they so quick to label you that, but they don't label you nothing positive. They really put that negative label on you. You know?
Yeah. But
like even with black and white, it's like, why do I have to be black? Can I be that dude that takes care of his family, man, and overcome obstacles? Or you know, why do I have to be black, man? Why can't I just be white?
Probably because of your skin shade.
Yeah, the absence of light. You know, if I can't see my black ass, I understand.
No, but essentially the caste system is it's something that's all around us. It's like the Force. It surrounds us, it binds us, it penetrates us, and all that good shit. It's there. Okay, I'll give you another example, because I really want people to get where this is going, because people are like, the fuck is wrong with these guys?
They just all over the place.
System. We'll give it to you in a place that's totally accepted. All right, the military. All right, the Army is always saying they're better than the Marines. The Marines, they say they're better than everybody. The Air Force, I think they say they're good. Like they're all saying something. Yeah. But in the time of war, as
they're
much
all
traffic,
one force.
they're all one.
They're all
right?
Force.
But when it's not war, you know, Marines is better than this. This unit in the Marines, this battalion is better than this battalion. This squad is better than this squad. This guy's. It's always going to be this is better than that. This is doing this. This is better than that. And this isn't me talking bad about the military. I joined the military when I was 17 years old. Joined the Marines. I think that anyone that says if you talk bad about the military, you don't have to agree with war. But if you talk bad about the military, you're a terrible person because these guys.
Yeah, they put their lives on the line.
You know, some of them have like, for lack of a better way, it's like romantic ideals. They believe that they're going and they're literally protecting people, and I think that
it's very noble.
People with those values,
very noble.
No matter what, should be praised.
Yeah, and I don't, whenever I talk about war and I talk about that, I never want people to believe or perceive that I shit on these armed forces people, because my father's a veteran and my grandfather's a veteran. Basically, almost kind of like a military family. But I understand that the elite will use people who have those desires and have those noble things about them, and the elite uses this. They use your patriotism. They use the media to do this, to send you off the war to die for something that you thought was noble, but in the end it was just money. It was just a way to make money, and that's with these caste systems. And you want to talk about people who kind of act like they're divided, but they're really united. It's our politicians, man. There's no such thing as Democrat, Republic. They work together.
Oh yeah,
they work together.
They
work to divide us. So we say, oh man, I don't like you. You're a Republican. I don't like you. You're a Democrat. But when it's all said, at the end of the day, they go to the same clubs. They fuck the same hoes, and they're friends. They're colleagues.
I mean, seriously, like to summarize it, if they were really after our best interests, why is it so? How is it that we can literally be so divided on a congressional level? I would think that everything that makes it up there is either for the best of the people or it isn't.
Yeah. But you know what? And I always say this, and I may sound racist saying this: the majority of our Congress are white men, wealthy white men. 90% of them are white, rich, wealthy men. So if you talking about having best interests. These people write our laws and stuff. So you think they're going to have the interests of people who's not like them?
Well, that's something we're going to continue another time.
Yes.
We've gone over. Like, comment, subscribe. If you disagree with anything that we've said, leave a comment in the section below. I'll try to get back to you. He'll try to get back to you. As it is now, I'm Davey O Diddler.
Law Dog.
And this is the foolishness.
We got to stay united. I love all y'all.
United we stand, divided we stand on one leg.